Well, hello. Good afternoon. This news just in. A senior U.S. intelligence official says Russian missiles crossed into NATO member Poland, killing two individuals. The link to this story will be down below in the description for you, so that way you can read it at your discretion. Polish government spokesperson or spokesman Piotr Mueller did not immediately confirm the information, but said that top leaders were holding an emergency meeting due to a crisis situation. Polish media reported that two people died Tuesday afternoon after a projectile struck an area where grain was drying in a Polish village near the border with Ukraine. On Tuesday, Russia pounded Ukraine's energy facilities with the biggest barrage of missiles yet, striking targets from east to west and causing widespread blackouts. A defiant President Volodymyr Zelensky shook his fist and declared, quote, "We will survive everything." Neighboring Moldova was also affected. It reported that massive power outages after the strikes knocked out a key power line that supplies the small nation, an official said. Zelensky and Russia fired at least 85 missiles, quote, most of them at our energy infrastructure, and shut down power in many cities. The quote continues with, "We're working, we'll restore everything, we'll survive everything," the president vowed. His energy minister said the attack was the most massive bombardment of power facilities in the nearly 9-month old Russian invasion, striking both power generation and transmission system. The minister, Herman Haluskiniko, pardon me if I said that wrong, describes the missile strikes at another attempt at the terrorist revenge after military and diplomatic setbacks for the Kremlin. He accused Russia of trying to cause maximum damage to our energy system on the eve of winter. The aerial assault, which resulted in at least one death in a residential building in the capital, Kiev, followed days of euphoria in Ukraine, sparked by one of its biggest military successes, the retaking last week of the southern city of Korozhin. The power grid was already battered by previous attacks and that destroyed an estimated 40% of the country's energy infrastructure. Now, Russian President Vladimir Putin has not commented on the retreat from Kherson. That's, I believe, how it's pronounced. Pardon me for that. Since his troops pulled out in the face of a Ukrainian offensive. But the stunning scale of Tuesday's strike spoke volumes and hinted at anger in the Kremlin. Now, the story also goes on to say that by striking targets in the late afternoon, not long before dusk began to fall, the Russian president military force rescued the Russian military force rescue workers to labor in the dark and gave repair crews scant time to assess the damage by daylight. In tandem with that, more than a dozen of regions, among them Lviv in the west and Kharkiv in the northeast, and others in between, reported strikes or efforts by their air defenses to shoot down missiles. At least a dozen regions reported power outages affecting cities that together have millions of people. Almost half of the Kiev region lost power, authorities said. The Ukrainian railways announced nationwide train delays. Now, that's the end of the story. However, there is one more, um, a little bit of a sentence here. It says Zelensky warned that more strikes were possible and urged people to stay safe and seek shelter. I know that there may not be a lot of people, and this is me speaking now, that are aware of some of the most recent developments as it relates to the company that deals with the cryptocurrency. Now, that's something that I'm putting together now, and I wanted to bring you guys all of the little pieces that go along with this. However, what I will say is, I'm not shocked at the timing of this announcement, nor am I shocked at the timing of all of the hubbub and trying to prowess themselves to, puff themselves up. I knew that something would be coming, uh, especially in light of the fact of the information that was, given out yesterday. Now, here's the funny thing: when you try to go in and find information about this whole entire deal that I'm referring to, with the whole crypto and the whole, I don't know, it feels like the mafia. It really does. It really, really does. For those of you who don't know, you'll see once we release it. But the point that I'm making is it's just another, nail. That's all. It's just another nail. This is exactly what they want. They want us to be distracted and believe that this is a real situation that has the potential to cause such great harm. I am very ashamed of our country as it relates to some of the most recent developments, uh, even to the point of hiding some of the information that is out there. Um, and I really find that it's everything will, yes, Starfire Reborn, absolutely. And I really feel like, everything that is done in the dark is most assuredly going to come out into the light. I am going to start again another prayer chain for us, possibly for the rest of this month, where we all start just interceding like we did a few months ago. I really believe that that's necessary. I don't even think after this we should stop. But with that said, this is the information that's coming out thus far. I'm sure there'll be a lot more information, and we'll just have to keep our ears to the ground. And as it becomes available to all of us, I will bring it. Because I know a lot of people are busy. You guys don't have the time to sit and listen to alerts all day. So as it becomes available, I will definitely bring it to you. But again, for those who are coming in to the room, the story is that there is Russian missiles that have crossed into Poland. Russian missiles that have crossed into Poland. We know where this could go. Okay. Hey, Kathy Lewis. Yeah, so the Russian missiles have crossed into Poland. Apparently, according to this report, they show that there have been two individuals who've passed, right? But again, I cannot help but piggyback on exactly what Starfire just said, because what Starfire just said is really where they want you to go. That's really where they want you to go. They want you to go to this story that we're reading, but where Starfire is right here, that is exactly what this is all about. That is exactly what this is all about, and nothing more, nothing less. It's just to get your eyes off of the whodunits of the world. There's also the part that gets me with regards to all the stuff that we can see. There's so much stuff that we can see. So much stuff. There's not a lot of stuff that's a secret. There's so much stuff that I believe that we're able to see now, and it's just going to keep going. It's just going to keep going. It's not going to end. This stuff's not going to end at all. I want to thank you, John, for the $20 cash app here. I just saw it. I heard it at the top of the broadcast, but I just wanted to thank you for the $20 cash app, sir. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for thinking of me and the channel. So, with that said, you guys, Ahal has said it as well, and it is. It's just that. It's just that. When you're seeing billions upon billions upon billions of, I mean, literally billions being poured out, and then you find out that it was just like a vat of washing powder. Those billions were washing powder. You can follow me. The billions were washing powder to clean it all up and return it. Have you ever had one of those? We had a laundry service. Please follow me. We had, absolutely, Charlie. We had a laundry service that my husband and I used to use when we lived in Georgia, and it was wonderful. We would take the dirty stuff, we would take it to the company. They would wash everything. They would fold all of our laundry. They would put everything all neatly together. They'd put it all back in a stack. Of course, they would take away the money. Whenever we would take the clothes to them, they would charge us. So, we may leave out maybe 30, 40 bucks lighter than we were when we went in. However, we knew what we were getting. So it was a service that we paid for. Um, and that's exactly what I see this issue is, because we would get our clothes back and all of our clothes would be nice and fresh and clean. And I wouldn't have to do anything. If I paid them a little extra, they would hang them up for me and I would hang up the stuff, my husband's shirts. and I put everything else in the drawers nice and neatly. This is what's happened to the American people. We have been taken to the cleaners. For Headlines with a Voice, this has been the Lockhart News Brief.
The Lockhart Perspective.